Here are 5 simple reasons why you're probably not improving as an artist. The first reason is neglecting to learn the fundamentals. Now, this is a habit that's, really prominent in self-taught artists, as we kind of just are left to do things in the order that we want them. So we might neglect to, learn the things that are important, like the fundamentals, whether it be perspective, shape, form, values, color theory, etc. List goes on. If you're, someone who wants to learn to draw manga, then you probably need to learn things like shape, form, value, perspective, anatomy, and color theory might be at like the bottom of your priority list. Whereas on the other hand, if you're someone wanting to learn, how to paint, then, shape, form, color theory, and values probably are going to be your priorities, with color theory pretty close to the top instead of at the bottom. Reason number 2, and now this is a pretty controversial topic within the art community and has been for a long time, and that is using references. A lot of people say that you shouldn't draw from references, that it's cheating, but the truth is that it's not. Any professional or, Renaissance artist even, like Leonardo da Vinci or Raphael, Michelangelo, all of them used references. They all looked at a subject at which they were trying to learn how to draw, or that they were drawing. And this is because your mind, though it can, holds memory and data, it doesn't really allow you to access it fully all the time. So you kind of have to look at something and continuously study it in order to memorize it. So if you don't know how to draw something, you should be using references. References are good for learning. Use them. Reason number 3, now this one kind of ties into reason number 2, and that is that you're probably overusing references. And I know this sounds like a contradiction, but it's really not. You see, the mind can memorize, data or things that it learns, but you kind of have to test it, right? You just like math, you learn 3 plus 3 is 6 because you look at the equation. But then over time, you have to take away certain parts. Okay, 3 plus 3 equals what? And you kind of have to teach yourself to remember the things that you learn. The same thing is with art. If you use references to study a pose, then you should take the reference away and try drawing the pose again without it. And then when you do, you then compare it and see what parts you were lacking in. Take note of your weak points and then study those specifically. And you want to slowly increase your mental library, mental strength, so that when you don't have access to a reference, or you want to draw from imagination and create something new, you have a mental library that you can pull from to be able to create things, even without looking at an image all the time. Okay, reason number 4. Now this one is a pretty big among beginners, and that is hiding behind "it's my art style." And this overemphasis these days on having your own art style or creating your own art style has led to a lot of people not really improving, because they just hide behind this fact that, oh, it's just my art style, it's how I draw it. Now, this is true in the case that you understand and know what you're drawing and are choosing to stylize it that way, purposefully. But if you're just drawing it without actually understanding it or knowing how to draw it or how it works, a basic understanding of the subject, and are just drawing it that way because you're scared to learn it, then it's just an excuse that you're using, and it's not going to help you improve. In fact, it's going to hinder your growth because you're unwilling to learn or change. And your art style is something that comes naturally. Therefore, as you improve, your art style will change with you. So just sticking behind one set way to draw something is definitely going to be hindering your growth. All right, reason number 5. Now, this is a big one. This applies to all artists. We all do this. We all, have times where if we admit it, we definitely fall into this habit. And that is staying in our comfort zone. Worst thing you can do when trying to learn really any skill, not just art, but any skill, is staying where you're comfortable. If you're only ever drawing or doing what you're comfortable, then you're probably not testing yourself or pushing yourself to improve or learn. So, if you're someone who draws characters and all you do is character design, you probably want to find ways to step out of your comfort zone to improve your skill. This might be tackling things that you're not as good at, like maybe drawing the hands, drawing hair, drawing the eyes, or whatever it may be. find places where you're weak and tackle those parts. You can still be drawing what you enjoy and what you want, while also stepping out of your comfort zone and drawing the things that are more difficult so that you can improve. And now this can broaden your horizon, and you can do something like, okay, I draw characters. And then, after 2 years of doing that, you wake up one day and decide, I want to learn how to draw environments. Do it. It's going to be hard and it's going to be very uncomfortable, and you're not really going to know where to start or what to do. It's going to be difficult, but your knowledge from drawing characters will transfer over in some way to learning how to draw environments, even if it's just a simple fact of being able to, break things down into simple shapes and understanding them. So stepping out of your comfort zone is the biggest way you can improve. And if you're not stepping outside of your comfort zone, it's probably why you're not really improving all that much. All right, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you to the 2.5 people who stayed to the end. Again, if anything here I pointed out is, something that you do personally, don't take offense to it. This is simply, hopefully, to help you learn by pointing out the areas where you might be falling short, because we could all use an extra set of eyes to, point out where we make mistakes so that we can then tackle those mistakes and improve. And that's all this video was for, was to help, artists like myself improve and point out the things maybe they've become numb to. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.